Yo, how's it going? So, YouTube Blood Cult. So let's just go ahead and see what this is about.
Everyone is staying warm indoors with their loved ones. And if you're like me, who enjoys watching true crime documentaries during the winter, or if you need a present to give to someone, then Hunt a Killer is the perfect gift. Hunt a Killer is an interactive murder mystery box that immerses players in a cold case. Look through clues, documents, and evidence in order to solve the mystery and catch the killer. Not only is it perfect for the holiday season, but it makes for a fun game night for the whole family. But if you're more of a solo detective, this game can appeal to you too. And if you order by December 15th, your
What the heck
box
is
will
going on?
arrive by Christmas. And Hunt a Killer has provided you guys with a special link for a sweet discount. By going to huntakiller.com/blameitonjorge and using my promo code Jorge, that's Jorge, you can get 20% off your first box. Plus a portion of proceeds from every box goes to the Cold Case Foundation, an organization involved in real-life cold cases.
Dang,
Again,
bro.
click the link
I
in the
already got
description
killed.
below and use the code Jorge to get started on solving your first mystery. Thanks again to Hunt a Killer for sponsoring this video.
It's going horrible, man.
YouTube. It
Yep.
feels like whenever things are calming down, YouTube is there to cause some trouble once again. From canceling 2020's Rewind to putting ads on everyone's content, even if you aren't a partner, I can say that this site is never stale. However, beneath the site's surface, an online cult has laid its foundation on this site for the past several years, and they've been growing at an alarming rate. Today, we're going down the strange rabbit hole that is blood over intent.
All right, bet. Um, I guess I'll be patient here, actually.
On the 23rd of February 2020, a user posted on r/internet mysteries about a cult taking place on YouTube. The user, Grog2002, states that he encountered two channels that created very weird videos and would frequently use the word blood in the comments. At first,
Okay.
Grog2002 guessed that it's either a bunch of edgelords that haven't grown out of the Hell Satan phase, or even a cult. As it later turned out, this was
It,
very much the latter.
oh, it was a cult?
Edit.
Let's
Apparently,
go.
it is a cult, a new age one at that, and they do these so-called blood over intent videos. We need to dive deeper into this rabbit hole. After some investigation, a surprisingly large list of channels believed to be a part of this cult was compiled.
Okay.
Just a heads up. From this point forward, I will be playing some of their videos, which involve people spilling drops of their own blood. To some, it may be disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised.
Oh,
With that
perfect.
out of the way, let's take a look.
Okay. Hmm. Hey. Okay, cool. That's a demon, which is weird. What is this?
I intend to bring forth heaven on earth for the benefit of all, and release us all from bondage.
You're cool, I guess. Thanks for the sacrifice. Hopefully there's, bro. What are you talking about, bro? We suck. I intend to bring heaven on heaven on earth for of all to release us from. But I guess.
Don't tell the others. I'm rooting for you.
Thanks, man. Ooh, she made scream. You're telling me that's all your blood. You know you can help more by just giving blood to donating blood,
All of
right?
these videos showcase
Instead
a
of
person smearing their
intending bringing
blood
heaven on earth.
onto a piece of paper with a prepared statement. The text slightly varies from person to person, but they typically say something along the lines of, I intend to bring forth heaven on earth and release everyone from bondage.
I'm good. Trust me.
And as previously stated, the comments are full of people saying blood thick or blood family or something similar. And you might be thinking that this is a niche, small little cult.
What a posers.
But what's weird is that if you search blood over intent on YouTube,
I keep thinking of South Park as I'm seeing this. The God Kids. Fucking posers, bro.
and sort by upload date, you'll see that there are videos being uploaded by the hour of people participating in this ritual.
Ew, dude. People are bored, man. That's what it sounds like to me.
I left her in the car, and then look, she starts bleeding. She writes her divine intent on a piece of paper in the car.
Is that your?
Look at that.
Is that your kid?
And yeah, she's using her spiritual currency to bring
Dude.
forth heaven on earth.
What weirdo, bro? Man, you suck as a person.
So, what is blood over intent? What's their purpose? Well, after scouring through tons of videos, Reddit threads, and one Gizmodo article, I think I can try to make sense of it all. Essentially, these people have taken the ancient idea of blood magic and adapted it for the modern era. Supposedly, blood is a very powerful and personal tool used in occultism. That's what's
interesting.
going on here. However, practitioners of blood over intent are a bit different. As the Gizmodo article puts it, in a nutshell, those who practice the ritual believe they develop spiritual powers and changes in perception that grow over time, as they shake off the false reality in which we are all supposedly imprisoned. It is a proof of life in the community's parlance, letting the powers that be know you're there and allowing you to enter their graces. Spilling blood, a practice rooted in the ancient occult, is no more important than the witnessing, which takes place online on YouTube for the eyes of fellow practitioners and in front of anyone who happens to click.
By the way, I met this woman. I was working one day, and this woman is telling me that the internet is the devil's tool and what. She went on a huge rant to me about how, you know, with all these things that are happening on the internet, and like all these like, live streams of like, people getting killed and whatnot, that it's the devil's tool. And she went on a huge rant on me, and like this kind of reminds me of what she was talking about. How like, the devil's using this and whatnot. There's people over here doing weird stuff on the internet, and there's weird stuff on the internet, and these guys are just all Satanists. Da-da-da. I mean, at this point, I don't know, man. She's kind of right. People over here doing some weird stuff on the internet.
So yeah, these people think that they see the world for what it truly is, that they're free of the reality that the rest of us are supposedly trapped in.
The Matrix?
This is actually a pretty common belief for people who are neck deep into conspiracy theories. And I like a good theory here and there, but these guys have gone off the deep end.
For
How do I
real.
know? Well, a lot of blood over intent channels are also flat earthers.
Woo! Oh, I
say
love me some flat earthers.
because I see, I asked all these questions
Down a minion and up a goal.
for the most part beginning with the shape of the earth and the evidence that I came up with. There's no evidence of the ball earth. There's evidence of a flat earth. I mean, you could make up the evidence of a ball earth. Yes, you can make that up and make it seem like that. But if you go out here and you are observing and knowing what's going on, you can just know that the earth isn't a ball. And so then that leads you down that path of those questions, and it led me to Blood Over Intent.
I think uh there was this guy, I think it was like, how do you know that the world isn't, that the earth isn't flat? I mean, how do you know that the whole earth flat, or flat earth theory got debunked just based off like this. I remember there was like an old video of like this guy that had like, they used shadow, that just posted like a shadow or whatever, because if the earth was flat and the sun was like beaming over it, like it would just, the shadow would stay in the same place, but like it's slowly moving at one. I need to look this up. I need to look this video back up, because I am the worst at explaining things, and this video to me is like, so like, it's such a basic, like, it immediately disproves whatever they're saying. Like, come on. Even in the, remember the Netflix documentary about the flat earthers, that like they kind of proved themselves wrong. God.
Believers of reptilian shapeshifters,
Oh, I love that theory too, though.
and apparently worshippers of Satan.
Uh
But we'll
oh.
get to that later on.
Hey, this goes back to the. Oh,
Gave up gallons of blood to bring forth heaven on earth for the benefit of all people. And I'm blood thick with Satan. I recommend you look into this topic, blood over intent.
Somehow these people have gone together
yeah. No, this is what I like. This is what the lady was telling me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's saying, like, watch out for the internet. Like, be careful what you scroll through. Be careful what you do on the internet, because, there's a lot of evil in the internet. And I mean, she's not wrong.
to form this cult, and it's been growing for the past few years. But blood over intent takes it one step further. Some members feel as though it is their duty to use blood magic to free the rest of us. So they write their intent and sign it with their blood. And once your video is uploaded, it serves as an initiation to the cult.
Thank you
as
for your
like
contribution,
proof
y'all.
that you are enlightened enough to reach blood over intent. Which explains all the comments seemingly congratulating the uploader. And yeah, uploading a video is a part of the ritual. Recording yourself dropping blood onto your divine message isn't enough. You must also post it to YouTube.
Why YouTube?
Okay, so that's one part of the ritual. But what about the reverse audio?
What? Wow.
Nowhere in the articles, Reddit threads, or even videos attempting to explain this cult does it ever explain why they do this. They just do, and it's kind of weird. So I decided to take matters into my own hands and ask one of the members of this cult.
Oh,
Thankfully, she was very open and answered my questions relatively quickly.
what a kind person.
According to her, reverse speech is a way of revealing what is occurring in human speech in the unconscious mind. David Oates is known for his work in reverse speech and shows how by recording and reversing speech reveals the truth. The truth is in reverse. This is partially true. David Oates is a real person who is
That's
the founder
crazy.
of reverse speech. Supposedly,
really?
the idea is that by reversing someone's audio, you can find hidden messages to decipher what they're really saying. However, this is obviously far from the truth.
What? Bruh, you can hear things, and then you're like kind of depicting what you want to hear and you're hoping to hear there. So it's like you're already choosy. And like that's just no. I hate that.
And
I hate
Oates'
that.
pseudoscience is rejected by the scientific community.
Obviously.
It's pretty easy to make words out of someone's reverse gibberish and loosely make it relevant.
Exactly.
But for some reason, members of Blood Over Intent have latched onto Oates' claims and use it in their videos. Since this Reddit thread has gained attention, online detectives were able to uncover common themes within this cult. Let's go through them, one at a time. Different variations of the number 144 or 144,000, are seen in many videos by members of Blood Over Intent.
Why?
You know, I love you, my brothers, my sisters. Blood Over Intent's where it's at. Check it out. You know, do YouTube search Blood Over Intent, spill your blood beside ours, and become part of the 144,000 that is going to leave this matrix.
As it turns
Okay.
out, 144,000 has quite a bit of significance in religions, so much so that it has its own convenient Wikipedia page. For example,
Please, please, please,
Jehovah's
please.
Witnesses
No, no, no,
believe
no.
that exactly 144,000 Christians will be chosen to live in heaven for eternity. And New Age
I messed
movements
up.
like the Unification Church or the Church of the Subgenius also utilize this number. In terms of Blood Over Intent, it's more or less the same. In the
Yeah,
Gizmodo
44.
article, Cult member Mark Braun states that by posting a video of yourself performing the ritual, you open yourself up to the Book of Life, in which only 144,000 names are written. Post blood and join his 144,000, he said, or be dead walking, asleep, doomed to a hellish cycle of pointless suffering. Blood
Wow.
up or shut up, said Braun.
Blood up or
I
shut up?
asked why 144,000 in the comments of one of their videos, and got this response. There are 144,000 names in the Book of Life. You need to show your creator proof of life to place your name in the Book of Life. Blood Over Intent is proof of life. This kind of belief is very common within cults.
Oh,
The
yes,
members are
Heaven's Gate.
disillusioned to think that performing this specific action is the only way to achieve some sort of greater goal. However, their actions are nonsensical. Like, I really doubt any magical book or deity cares about whether or not a video is uploaded to YouTube. It's very reminiscent of Heaven's Gate, except instead of mass suicide, it's smearing blood onto a piece of paper, uploading it, and then escaping our fake world.
I didn't like that one either. Here's a goal for the trouble.
Mary Barnes.
For whatever reason, a ton of these Blood Over Intent videos seem to reference a woman named Mary Barnes. Some videos even praise her, as if she's a god that the cult worships. Googling her name doesn't do much help. However, there is a channel involved in the cult called Mary Barnes Makovich.
We intend to bring forth heaven on earth for the benefit of all. We intend to release all from the bondage of time and money,
Jesus
safe
Christ, bro.
passage into the Garden of Eden, and forgiveness for our filthy souls. For Mr. Satan
So this is
and the 144,000 hellblazers. You know what? We're grateful for you.
She
This
seems
is like
to upload
a
daily about
legit
Blood Over Intent,
online
her
satanic cult.
paintings, her ramblings, and
It's so wild.
on. I can only assume she's an older, more well-known member of the group, although she's only been posting videos since 2018. However, considering her growing catalog of over 1,000 videos,
Jesus.
I imagine most members know her. The real star of the show is our next person of interest, Quasi-Luminous.
Quasi-luminous. Quasimodo? No, quasi-luminous.
In some of the videos I've watched, one name seems to be mentioned every now and then. The so-called leader or founder of Blood Over Intent.
Oh,
man
there's a
named
leader.
Mark Braun, also known as Quasi-Luminous. However, he believes himself to be literally Satan.
I can see where the Holy Grail is, and what I've done is I've proclaimed outwardly to the world that this fucking world is
Don't do
mine,
drugs,
and
kids.
Satan, the Antichrist,
Don't
the
do
Prince of
drugs.
Darkness himself, and that I have the Holy Spirit. And I proclaimed outwardly to the world that this place is mine, and nobody has to like it.
So, what I've noticed is that when I spill my blood over my intent, I did it the one time that I published it to the Ethernet, and then you see, I started making videos where I could start seeing, and I started pointing out that Jesus is the Son and that I am the Antichrist himself. Now,
What? Dude, this
And what's
is
even worse is that so do his
lost it.
followers.
I made a discovery with the reverse speech. And like Satan says, he has many names. And he also goes by Quasi-Luminous. And he's back, which is awesome.
There's not much else I could find on Mark, other than a failed AMA on the occult subreddit, some 4chan threads, one of which mentions that they believed April 14th to be a spiritual event, and
April
several
14th.
online arrest records. This one from 2010 showed that Mark was engaged with second-degree petty theft, carrying some type of concealed weapon, possession of drugs like meth, and
Oh
others.
God, see, this is where it comes from.
Amazingly,
Yo,
his followers.
speaking of, okay, so this is random story here on the side. Um, so I remember one day I was working, correct, and it was like midnight, and basically, oops, hang on before dang it, I messed up. And basically, there was this guy that came in, and I knew he was like, this guy was always on drugs, basically. And one night he comes in. I was always cool with this dude though. Like I was cool with him. It was kind of like, he was going through a rough time in his life, and he would be on drugs. And and so one night he comes in, and he's like tweaking out, like he's like like looking all around and whatnot. And yeah, like he's saying that he's seeing shadows all over the place, and like the devil's after him, and all the shenanigans, man. And yeah, I felt bad for him, so I was like, yo, you know what, man, like if you want, like, get a drink of water, and like just kind of walk around the store, maybe, like, I don't know, like I felt bad, and I wanted to, like, let him like chill out, and like I'm pretty sure it was like a lot of paranoia and anxiety and whatnot, and it's like late at night, and it's like what, 2 in the morning, and yeah, it's just dark, and I guess, like, I just wanted him to chill because he was like really tweaking out. And then so he finally chills out, and then before he sees, it's like, yeah, man, I'm seeing, like, everything looks like devilish to me, man, like everything looks like demonic and whatnot. And he's like, even you, man, like you look like the devil right now. And I'm just like, bro, I am not the devil, for the love of God. Like, in my mind I said that. Like, in reality, what I said was like, oh well, man, like I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, no, just drink, I guess, drink some water. Yeah, keep drinking water or whatever. And that dude, like, just, he left, and he was just so like, yeah, no, drugs, I don't know what's, like, but they make you see, like, your brain gets crazy. And like, some guy was telling me that drugs is like a gateway to like the spiritual world, and depending on, or dimensions, and depending on you know uh depending on, like, your alignments or something, like your spiritual alignment, like if you're doing good in the world, you'll get to see like a good dimension. It was a wild thing, and basically, like, you know yeah, like this whole, like, and like, like, basically he was in, like, and this guy told me he was in like a dark place in his life, and so he, the evil energy took control of him, and all this other shenanigans. And I was just like, my mind my mind got blown away, dude. Working in retail 7-Elevens late at night, doing overnight shifts, is one of the craziest things ever. Like, you'll meet some crazy people, man. And yeah. So, like, world, so basically this, and like what I wanted to say here is, don't do meth. You know, meth is not the best way to go. And the way people act and get paranoid, it's just beyond me. Like, like, that's
or
just
at
crazy.
least one, can be seen in the comments. And if you're curious about that Reddit post, it turns out that Mark got into an altercation with police and paramedics back in 2012. Unfortunately, the video of the event has been removed by YouTube, but a helpful comment from someone claiming to be involved explains the whole ordeal. It's very long, but it does tell us a bit more about this mysterious cult leader. Basically, Mark was already a regular in his Florida police community, known for being mentally ill, involved with drugs, and abusive to his then wife. During this incident, he called 911 and would only say, "Send an ambulance," claiming that he was attacked by his neighbor. Yet he was very uncooperative, had no signs of injury, and was clearly on drugs according to the officers. He was so erratic and hysterical that the officers ended up handcuffing him and loading him onto a stretcher. After being sent to
Wow,
the hospital,
bro.
he underwent surgery on his chest or stomach, though the OP admits that he has no idea why this happened. Sometime after being released from the hospital, Mark started claiming that he was being stalked and threatened by the police. He then
Damn.
uploaded a video on his old YouTube channel called How to Kill Yourself, where he
Whoa.
states that his wife and child fled the country because of this supposed police harassment, despite them already being
Okay.
separated for 1 to 2 years at that point. Someone sees the video, calls the police, and due to the suicide threat and previous knowledge of Mark owning a handgun, police subdue and take him to a mental health hospital.
As
If
they
it
should.
wasn't obvious by now, Mark isn't all there,
No,
and
he is
hasn't
not.
been for the past decade, likely more so. I'm not sure if I should feel creeped out or just sad at this point.
I feel bad.
I have no idea how he started this cult, but he clearly isn't somebody worth listening to and needs help rather than being on YouTube.
Big time, bro.
Now, there is one last person of interest I'd like to go over before closing things off. As stated earlier, Quasi-Luminous is the man behind this cult, and he has, for the most part, kept it online. But there was apparently one other leader of the cult who was second in command, a man going by the name of Devin Madge, who runs a channel called Flat Earth Paradise. So why is he worth mentioning? In the post on the cults subreddit, a user known as Orb Switzer writes about how Devin is now starting a real-life cult. He states, "I've been following Blood Over Intent for years, and feel something significant just happened. If you don't know what that is, it's a subset of the Flat Earth community that got into a form of blood magic that, as of now, seems to have almost lost its steam, along with the larger FE community.
Jesus Christ,
They
bro.
would write their divine intent to bring heaven on earth on paper, then cut themselves and post a video of themselves spreading their blood over it. As has been noted, it was apparently started by the truly psychotic Mark Braun, or Quasi-Luminous, now usually going by Saturn or Satan on YouTube, where he disappears and reappears frequently. But there have been other clear leaders among them. One is Devin Madge, now Flat Earth Paradise on YouTube. I could go on forever about this guy, but here's the gist. Unlike Quasi-Luminous, he comes off as intelligent and charismatic.
Okay.
For a long time, he posted about Blood Over Intent and random new aging nonsense, but he made very high quality videos and before long had tens of thousands of subs. Notable things he's done: had a big falling out with Quasi-Luminous and basically became the movement's biggest voice, planned, raised money for, and ultimately abandoned the SEAL project, in which he aimed to travel to the North Pole to prove there's a giant hole there leading to the Garden of Eden,
What
largely
the
abandoned
fuck?
Blood Over Intent topics, becoming more focused on bizarre New Age crap, traveled the country mooching off his supporters, including a weeks-long road trip he called the Rite of Remembrance,
Oh my
announced he's
God.
a reincarnation of Hermes/Thoth, messenger of the gods, and could manipulate matter at will, made predictions about vague yet supposedly cataclysmic events. So it appears as though this Devin guy had quite the history with Blood Over Intent. But now he spun off and started his own thing, creating a sanctuary somewhere in Oregon,
The
where all
spin-off.
paranormal stuff happens.
That's
I'm not
hilarious.
sure if this spin-off cult has anything to do with Blood Over Intent, as the post stated he became disassociated with them. For now though, it would seem as though we might be witnessing the rise of a cult right before our eyes.
That's interesting. I mean, when it comes, oh my God,
If this
dude.
was a small underground group on YouTube doing weird things,
My biggest fear is like another Heaven's Gate or another. Just like it always ends bad when people get into cults, like heavy cults, man. And it's crazy because we were in the age of the internet, and there's a lot of well, you can kind of like, the thing is, like, you can also drive your own narrative here on the internet, like depending on the videos you watch, and then like the algorithm will pick that up, and then you'll be like, oh, oh, there's another video. Oh, and then like your brain kind of starts warping this reality, and like how like oh, like it's all like you start looking at when you go into the outside world, you'll have like this warped reality, and like just because of like the internet, and then you'll be like, oh, that's you'll perceive things different. um yeah, and that's the scary part about this, because it's like there's like a lot of people, and they're like, oh, we all think the same, but it's gonna start warping people's reality, and then they're gonna start but also the other thing is like, bro, like there's plenty of evidence showing like like giving you information like, oh, this is when it's a cult and whatnot, and it's just so messy. It is a messy thing to see.
I might have ignored it. After all, there's honestly a lot of weird stuff on the site, but the frequent amount of uploads from everyday normal people is genuinely concerning.
Mm-hmm.
And when you factor in that some of them involve their family, their children, it's
That's
a
where they
little
lose me, bro.
unsettling.
Yeah,
From
that's
their
for real.
nonsensical ramblings and beliefs to their founder literally believing himself to be Satan, this is a blood cult that lives on YouTube. And frankly, I don't think it should. Thankfully, a lot of videos and channels have been deleted since this thread got popular. So stay safe, everyone. Happy holidays, and good night.
Yeah, no, that was a great video. That's a great video. Yeah, new age cults, huh? That's the thing we should look out for now. Especially because, again, age of the internet, it's easy to warp our minds into this crazy reality in which we think we start perceiving that the outside world is trying to get us, or some other shenanigans, or they're trying to like shut us down, because it's like I hate when um just because it's like the thing with Sneeko. This I hate that I have to come to this. It's like Sneeko was saying that, oh, when they cancel it or take it off the internet, or they try to silence it, that means it's truth and all that. And nah, not really, man. uh Sometimes it's just spewing shit to spew shit, and not all of it is truth. Sometimes it's just people going off the rocker. And but yeah, no, definitely cool video. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, honestly. It's just crazy to think about this stuff.